Hello, Stacie Potter here. I typically teach yoga at Premier at Sawmill on Sunday afternoons, but since we're all playing it a little bit closer to home, I'm going to go ahead and do this video, and I hope it helps you. I know it'll help me. So, if you have a yoga mat, blanket, towel, anything like that, I'd say grab it. And really, that's about all you're going to need. Maybe a cushion or a towel to sit upon. That's the beauty of yoga, I think, or it has been for me anyway. Yoga began more than 2,000 years ago, and it's very basic. You don't need a lot of stuff, and very minimal. And that's kind of speaking to where we are right now, why we're doing this the way we are right now. So please come with me and enjoy seated posture. If sitting with your legs crossed doesn't work for you, please go ahead and straighten them out. It's not so important how you sit, although you do want to be sitting straight with your back straight, leaning back perhaps a little bit. That's what the pillow can be good for, to kind of help you with kind of cushions the pelvic bowl and causes you to lean back a little bit. So I encourage you to do that. But yoga is not about the contortion of your body, although flexibility will increase as you perform your practice. Yoga is about integrating your mind, your body, and your spirit so that you have a stronger sense of self. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Specifically, we're going to try to do some postures that balance our chakras. Now, chakra is just a fancy word or a Sanskrit word, really, I should say, and it's used to describe or translated as wheel of energy. So there is a belief, an ancient belief, that you have 7 chakras that run from the root of your torso all the way up to above your head. So in this path, and each one has a different color that represents that chakra and represents a part of your body as well as your mind and your spirit. So by going ahead and balancing these parts of our body the same way that you would balance, say, the wheels on your car, or whatever it is you're trying to do to have that balance in life, that's what we're trying to do here. And it is very healing, and certainly we are all very focused on healing these days. So I'm going to sound the chime. These are Tibetan chimes. Chimes, bells, that type of thing are used to clear energy. It's also, in our society, a signal to begin or a signal to end. So just let yourself sit. Nice long spine. Maybe roll your shoulders back a little bit. Connect with your breath. Now, as you hear the sound of the chime resonate within the room, let it settle into your own soul, hopefully bringing you a sense of peace as you breathe. And that is truly the essence of yoga, is the breath. So let's just focus on our breath a little bit. The act of yoga breath is taking the air in and out of your nostrils. Now, if you want to try that and that feels good to you, certainly. But more importantly, I would say it's not how you breathe, it's that you breathe. So breathe in a way that feels good to you. Taking a nice deep inhale, full and complete exhale, and again deeply in and completely out. And continue to allow that breath to flow in and out of your being. And we're going to do an initiating check-in with our mind, our body, and our spirit. If we're hoping to integrate these three centers of ourself, it's first necessary that we check in with them, see how they're doing. So, start first with your mind. Allow your mind to be quiet. Let go of everything that occurred before this moment, accepting that we do not know what will occur in the moments after. Just allow yourself to be in the here and the now. And without engaging or connecting with the thoughts, try to reflect on where has your mental energy been lately. And I know that's a subject matter that is probably very universal for many of us. So again, not connecting with those thoughts, but just an awareness of what have we been thinking about a lot lately. And asking ourselves, what kind of energy we believe these thoughts are bringing us. And I would say, I know for myself, more recently, there's been that worry, that care, that concern about current coronavirus and such, and health and well-being, and sustaining our health and well-being. So we don't have much control. In fact, we have very little control over that particular subject of it being in our thoughts. Where we do have more of a say in it is how we view this. This is a problem, but if we can shift our energy into thinking about it as the challenge that we as a world are currently facing, that shifts that energy a little bit out of fear-based into faith-based or hopefulness. So just to have that awareness, and you can't always go from 0 to 100 that quickly mentally. It begins with the awareness. So the awareness of what your thoughts are, the subject matter, and awareness of their energy. And then as you continue to kind of play with that back and forth and connect with it, looking at how you want to embrace these thoughts, how you want to transition them or transform them. So initially just noticing that mental energy and allowing yourself to connect with it. Breathing. Allowing your awareness to now shift to your body, your soul suit. This is the center that it is easiest to connect with and easiest to disconnect with. And of course, it's a center that's very prominent on our minds now, or in our awareness now. We're very aware of our physical self, our health, our well-being, the washing the hands, the whole thing, of how we're feeling. Are we displaying any symptoms? That kind of thing. So just aware of your body, how you're physically feeling, head to toe, scanning your body. Again, here comes the balancing act, if it were. What we're trying to do is to have that awareness of our wonderful bodies, and appreciation, certainly, of our health, but not to be consumed or in a hypochondriac state, if you will, thinking every time we sneeze or cough, oh my goodness, that kind of thing. So just an awareness of your body, of your physical body. Just take a few moments, noticing what's working well, gratitude for that, and perhaps where healing is required as we breathe. Good. Okay, and then your third center. Many would say the actual essence of us. It's our spirit. And this is the mysterious center. When we think about our mind, we know where our brain is. When we connect with our physical, our body, we certainly know where that is. Spirit is a little bit more like grabbing onto smoke or mist. We know we have our spirit, we have our soul, but we're never quite sure where it is. It's hard to distinguish for us from the mind mostly, or to step away from the physical and come more into the spiritual. So when you're connecting with your spirit, a good GPS, if you will, or a roadmap can be your emotions. How are you emotionally feeling? So allow yourself to take the next few moments and consider that. How do I feel emotionally? And given certain circumstances now, some of that is fear. Certainly. And at the same time, though, I've heard myself and others talk about kind of a peacefulness that is coming from not having to go out and do so much. It's getting real simple. We're coming right down to some real simple things that we're to focus on. And our activities are more limited. So I have heard a lot of people, myself, as I said, included, feeling, yes, I'm feeling frightened, but at the same time, there's a peacefulness that is coming forth. And so that's the beauty of spirit or emotions. They're not linear. They're not in a straight line. They don't have to make sense. We can be frightened but feel peaceful at the same time about the same thing. So don't worry about that piece of it. And some people get concerned because they're not able to tap in to those emotions. That doesn't mean you're void of spirit or soul. It just means you're on your journey. So whatever information comes to you about any one of your centers, just embrace it. Enjoy the journey and breathe. And as you breathe and connecting with all three of your spirits and centers, mind, body, spirit, let us go ahead and open up to healing on any and all levels of mind, body, and spirit, that we might be our best self. Many would say that's our reason for being here. Also, the karmic good of entering into a dedication. It's kind of what goes around comes around, so we want to send good healing energy, and this is an opportune time to do that, especially if you are feeling like there's not anything I can do, there's not much I can do. Yes, there is. There's the power of intention, and it's very powerful. It's very empowering and powerful how that energy shifts and changes any and everything in this universe. So, if you know of people, places, things, and causes that could use your positive energy, go ahead and connect with them now in your mind's eye. Go ahead and let yourself make that connection. And as we continue with our practice this afternoon, or whatever time you're doing this, allow sometimes the knowledge that your mind will wander. You'll go back to what you're scared about, what you're concerned about, what you're supposed to do next. And if that happens and you want to center back into this practice, into your yoga practice, just bring your awareness to your breath and or your intentions. And then that will help to center you and keep you on track throughout practice. Also, toward the end, of our practice today, as we conclude, we will do a physical and spiritual and mindful intent of sending good energy to our intentions. So let's continue to breathe and be. And we're going to just become a little bit more aware of our body so that we can enjoy our practice. One thing you want to do is, it's called pulsing the thymus. This can be a good practice to do nowadays, in as much as it's believed to jumpstart the immune system. So, taking your ring finger and your mid finger, tapping on your breastbone. It's called pulsing the thymus. So you might want to just do that several times, however many times it feels good to you. And what the belief is that does is it kind of jumpstarts your entire immune system. So certainly a good thing to do nowadays. And then just getting aware of your muscles, your physical muscles. Now, this can be done lying down, or if you want to remain in seated posture. I'm going to remain in seated posture just for the purposes of this video. But you can go ahead and check in with each muscle, massaging each muscle. And just seeing how everything's feeling. Giving you a deeper awareness of your body. The pulsing of the organs. Pulsing of the organs, and sometimes it's best done lying down, is just simply to put the palms on the tummy. You don't need to have your stomach all sucked in. You can have a nice little Buddha belly and kind of pooch it out and just make circular movements on the belly. This helps the organs to release their toxins, and being mindful then of drinking more water, green tea, that type of thing. And then just continue to check the muscles, arms, each of the arms. Maybe some neck massage. And even the head, the scalp. Kind of running your fingers through the scalp, releasing your mind of any trapped thoughts, fear, or anxiety. Let them be like the breath you blow out. Let it be transformed into something that is new, pure, and clean. Don't leave it trapped up there in your head. And relaxing the face, all the facial muscles, maybe letting the 8 little fingers, putting the backs of the fingernails toward each other, letting them rest in the center of the forehead, taking a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, allowing each of your hands to just gently float across each half of the forehead. Return to the center and repeat that act as if you were combing or brushing away any fear, any worry, any anxiety. And creating furrows to plant seeds of positive thoughts. And allow these to grow and to flourish as you breathe. Bringing just the ring fingers to the temples. Making soft, gentle circles. Very light touch here. You never want to put too much pressure on the temples. And letting that lower jaw unhinge, and even shifting it side to side. And as you breathe, feeling the entire face relax. Changing the direction of those circles at your temples. Let them go the other way. You're breathing. Good. Nice. Okay, that's our muscles. You know, they always say no matter what you're doing, you never want to work on a cold muscle nor a dry joint. So it's about also getting fluid into the joints. So maybe fingers and toes. And like I said, you can do this lying down if that's easier for you. I'm just remaining seated mostly for video purposes. But try wiggling your fingers and toes. And maybe making those circles with your wrists and ankles. You know, you can try doing them first one way, then the other way. All right, round and round. And ball and socket joints. That's on the legs, the lower part of the legs, maybe a few times in each direction. And of course, it's in the upper body and our arms too. We're going to be doing a little bit of reflexology also on the bottoms of the feet. It's the belief that the overall health or well-being of your body and your mind and spirit are reflected in the bottoms of the feet. There are pressure points that connect. So now just an overall way of doing a little reflexology. Take, and you can do this any way you want, but you're going to just flex the one foot, one of your feet. Take the opposite hand, put the heel of that hand on the heel of the foot, and then do upward motion toward the toes. And we're pulling out the old energy, right? Getting rid of that, and making room for the new energy that is coming into our being as we breathe. Reflexology is a neat study. We're all more health conscious and healing these days. If you want to Google something really cool, try reflexology. It can be done with essential oils. Neat practice to connect into now. All right, letting that all go. Now we're going to start talking about and moving with the chakras, okay? First chakra is our, and like I said, they go all the way. You may have even seen those pictures, the pictures that depict the different colors, like rainbow colors, that are going from the tip of the torso all the way up above the head. So what we'll be doing is postures that relate or identify to that particular chakra. And then the hope is that that helps to get that part of our mind, body, spirit back in balance so that we have a stronger sense of self, more centered, more grounded. Okay? So, first chakra is the root chakra. It is at the tip of the torso. Has to do with eliminating waste. It's urinary tract. It's basically the parts of your body that we use to go to the bathroom. Okay, getting rid of waste. It's not just about the physical body, though. It is about your mind and spirit. So think about also on this chakra, where am I wasting my mental time? Am I caught in something? Am I caught in fear? And I keep on grinding it over and over and over. Are there different things I could do with that mental energy? Maybe make it a little more positive. And of course our spirit. How can we be more soulful and deepening in our spirit? So let's do a posture that is going to help us to get this chakra into balance. So what it's called child's posture, prayer posture. And it is very, very it opens up the hips. So, and it's also a little bit of an inversion. Inversion's anytime you have your head lower than your hips and or knees. And an inversion in the yoga world is like a cup of coffee. Only not jittery, not too hyper. It's more calming. Okay? So, in order to do child's posture, prayer posture, what we're going to do is come down to all fours. All fours in the yoga world, hands and knees, is also known as table posture, because it's kind of like we're a human table, right? So on your knees, and if you do have knee issues, I myself and know many people that have knee issues, don't be afraid to take like a little towel or a blanket or a pillow and maybe put it underneath your knees. And what you want is a nice big distance between the knees. And then you're going to take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, what you're going to do is you're going to be sending your bottom back by your heels, okay? And then you're letting the belly come nice and soft. Belly's nice and soft in between the legs, and you allow the head to come down toward the mat, and maybe even facing toward the mat. Now, with the arms, couple options here. If you have shoulder issues, you may want to just curl those arms back alongside the legs. No shoulder issues for you, go ahead and do what we call intensify. Go ahead and extend those arms out. Let those fingers walk to the top of the mat. And you'll notice here, your heart is very close to the earth. Child's posture, prayer posture can be a good time to unburden your heart. Okay? All of us have a lot of care, worry, and concern. You're close to Mother Earth now. Go ahead and let those cares, worries, and concerns come to the earth. Lighten your load. And breathe. And as you lighten that load, sometimes you need to have a little reassurance that everything is going to be okay. And that's not just okay, it's going to be great. And that's where we connect with the law of abundance. So the law of abundance says that we get what we think about. So if we're worrying all the time, we're going to attract that negative energy. But if we go ahead and make a shift, say in gratitude, thinking about what we're grateful for, and maybe it's what we're grateful for right now, or what we've had in our life, or what we're looking forward to in our life, then that attracts that energy to us. So let's go ahead and maybe allow, after you unburden your heart, allow yourself to have those blessings parade before you in your mind as you breathe. And as you do this, I'll talk to you a little bit about that root chakra. Now, you'll notice our root chakra, tip of our torso, is down, pointed down toward the earth. That's the act of opening up that root chakra. We're also opening up our hips. So, this chakra, the color associated with it is red. Red, like the color of the blood that flows through us. A very bright color of red. And again, on the physical side, it has to do with the organs and everything we use to eliminate, to go to the bathroom. So maybe considering allowing yourself to take better care of yourself in that respect. Drinking more water, flushing impurities through our body. Fiber, eating healthy foods that help, vegetables, that help to keep our body consistent. And also wasted thoughts, wasted spirit energy. Eliminating that waste. Connecting with the positive. And allowing yourself to breathe. Alright, from chakra 1, let's go to chakra 2. Now, chakra 2, so we're down here at the tip of the torso. Now we're working up. We're going to do a posture that addresses chakra 2 and 3. So we're getting kind of a yoga 2 for 1 here. Chakra 2 is located, or the second chakra, around the navel. I call it the sexy chakra because it has to do with gender, your sex organs that identify you and which gender you are. It also has to do with reproduction. So that's on the physical sense, but it also has to do with your creativity. Okay, what is your art? And all of us are artists. And if you're not sure what your art is, I always say use this test. When you were a small child, because this is usually something that's been within you since minute 1, or somewhere in there. But when you were a small child and they couldn't find you, or you were off somewhere doing your own thing, what was it you were doing? That's probably what your art is. And if you weren't doing it, you were thinking about doing it. So that's how you can connect with that energy. It's whatever you could do that you could spend all day doing, or reading about, or talking to other people about, or whatever. So allow yourself to make that connection of what is your creativity. Okay? That's your second chakra. Third chakra is right up here. It's right below the ribs. And I forgot to mention, second chakra, color associated with it is bright, bright orange, like a pumpkin orange. Third chakra is fight or flight chakra. It's your gut feel. It's that feeling that you get that I need to, stand still or take off this way in order to survive, in order to maintain. And a lot of us are in that third chakra right now. What do I need to do to take care of my basic needs? In fact, that's what these first three chakras are. They're your basic needs on this earth. So, third chakra in the physical body has to do with the gallbladder, the liver, those organs. But it also has to do with fight or flight, of listening to yourself about that. We have, and that's another thing that I think is kind of coming, a good that is coming out of all of this, is we are getting back in touch with listening to ourselves. We're less distracted by things we have to do. That's been minimized. And now we're connecting more with ourselves. So, third chakra, bright, sunshiny yellow color is associated with it. I guess you should say, or could say, that I have kind of a second and third chakra top on today, and a first chakra, because it has red, orange, and yellow, I'm noticing. So I'm going to start calling this my 1, 2, 3 chakra top. Anyway, so yes, if you'll notice, we're going from red to orange